Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Chris with InsideTheU. Big news for Miami Hurricanes. They pick up a commitment from running back TreVonte Citizen out of Louisiana, a top 10 running back in the country. He picks Miami over Florida, LSU, and Auburn. There's a lot to get into with this, but first off, if you like this video, if you like the pickup of TreVonte, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. It's a huge help. So with TreVonte, he's considered the 9th best running back in the class according to the 24/7 Sports composite rankings. He was an All-American Bowl participant. He was a guy that had his senior year cut short because of injury, missed the last 4 games. He still ran for 743 yards and 11 touchdowns in 6 games, averaging over 11 yards a carry. He's listed at 6 foot, 217 pounds, a guy that has good inside ability, but also a guy can make guys miss and get to the next level and make plays. Personally, I like this pickup, even though Miami picked up a transfer in Henry Parrish Jr. from Ole Miss. He's already on campus. I like that they have 2 backs in this class. Even though Miami is returning Jalen Knighton, Don Chaney Jr., and Cody Brown, as well as Thad Franklin, I like that there's a lot of talent in the room. It's going to be very competitive in spring ball and moving forward. And frankly, one way to improve in certain areas, and Miami needs to improve on its running game. We've talked about that quite a bit, but one of the reasons, or one of the ways to improve it, is to improve the personnel. They add a couple backs. You might like the guys that they have before, but now adding 2 more guys, adding TreVonte into the mix, gives Miami options. And the other running backs are going to know that more talent is being inserted into the room. So I like this pickup. Again, one of the top uncommitted players on the offensive side of the ball, right around that top 100 player overall prospect according to the rankings. Again, he was a top uncommitted running back, and another guy that Mario Cristobal and his staff was able to land, a guy that Miami was not in the picture of before. So a few things that I like about TreVonte, watching him on film, again, looking at the stats, some things that stand out to me, and maybe some things that he could work on as well at the next level. Certainly, if we talk about his strengths as a running back at 6 foot, again, 217 pounds, he has good size. He's able to get through tackles through the inside. I like that with running backs because it's not all about getting to the outside. It's sometimes difficult at the next level. So running backs that are used to running in between the tackles, I think is a good sign. I like that ability with him. I think he does have some make guys miss ability with his cutting and his agility there. It's not as noticeable as it is with a smaller back, but I still like his ability, and I like that he's got size on him as well. Another thing that I really like that he's ran track. I think he's posted some good numbers. He's particularly good in the 200. So I like that about him. I think he's got good form with that. I always like when guys compete in track. So he definitely has some things that going for him there in terms of some speed, some basis there that they can definitely work on. Certainly getting faster is always a good thing to do at the next level. That doesn't mean he's slow by any means. It's just one of those things you can always work on. You can always try to get better at. And all players, regardless of position, always want to try to improve their speed if they can, even just a little bit. So I like that with TreVonte. Another thing that I like too, I thought he did a really good job of being a productive back at the high school level. I like that he put up big numbers when he was in there and also found the end zone. I always think that's important for running backs. And I think that you can see signs of that from his film in high school, that he's able to get into the end zone at different levels, different parts of the field, which I think is a good sign because ultimately that's obviously what you're shooting for with the running back. So for him to finish off runs, I think he does a good job of that as well. So I touched on his running back his rushing stats, the 11 yards a carry, over 700 yards, 11 touchdowns. But one of the things that he did not have a lot of, and it's going to be something to work on, is his pass catching. Now, high school throwing to the running backs, it's not always common, and he only had the 2 catches last season. So certainly it's something that he can always get better at. A lot of running backs, this is very common for them. So it's just an area that he can work on. And certainly with this day and age in college football, to be a complete weapon, that's certainly a benefit to the offense, and it keeps the defenses honest. So wherever you're at, you always want to be a threat. So that'll be something I'm sure he'll just work on at the college level as well. Another thing too that certainly, we talk about this all the time with young running backs, but it's pass protection. It's not one of these overused cliches or anything like that. It's a legitimate thing that he's going to have to work on. All young running backs will. And it's because it's just not the same level that you do in high school. There's a lot of different blitz combinations. and the size of guys that you're blocking is usually a lot different as well. So reading and reacting to blocks, being physical there, and basically all this comes down to is earning the coach's trust. It's going to be very important for him to do that, and this is one way to do it. Certainly a lot of competition in the Miami running back room. They're bringing in talent. It's a good thing. It's definitely a good sign that Miami's adding another running back to the class because, Miami dealt with injuries last year. Cameron Harris goes out for the year. He wasn't able to play a full season. And same way with Don Chaney Jr. He was able, he missed the season as well. And even Jalen Knighton missed the beginning of the season to a suspension. So you never know what can happen at the running back position. It's very important. And for Miami to pick up a guy like this, who was considering Florida, Auburn, and LSU, many experts had him pegged for Florida. He's a former LSU commit from Louisiana. I've talked about this before. Miami really thought that Auburn was a tough team to beat as well. So a lot of big time programs in the mix for TreVonte. And he picked Miami. I think that says a lot about their recruiting staff, their ability to get him, and also a lot of credit to TreVonte. I've talked a lot about the depth. It definitely is a good thing for Miami at running back, but it says a lot about TreVonte that he wants to sign up for this, even though he knows that there's guys in front of him currently on the depth chart. He's certainly willing to compete. We will see how it all works out for TreVonte moving forward, but certainly a good pickup for Miami. Definitely stay tuned. There's a lot more coming. Information on recruiting, signing day, everything moving forward with the coaches. So definitely stay tuned, stay locked into InsideTheU.com and the channel. So definitely thanks everybody for watching. Have a good day and take care.